Hi, and welcome to today's topic where we're going to be looking at obesity in children and the psychosomatics of that. Now, if this topic of psychosomatics is new for you, then I would highly recommend that you please watch the video first. What is psychosomatics of children? And then once you've done that, come back and join me here for this video. And if this is a topic that you are used to, then let's dive also right into this. And if you love this topic, you're going to actually also even love this book, which is a big book of psychosomatics of children and the psychosomatic stress, of course, behind ailments, different psychological disorders, and stress and traumas that a child might have. So if you are a parent, you'll love it. If you love to work with children, you will love this as well. It's a powerful, powerful resource. Now, let's look at childhood obesity because this is a significant health concern with many, many children actually struggling with overweight and obesity because of factors like unhealthy diets and a lot of terrible, like unhealthy lifestyles. And obesity can also lead to various health issues, including type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular problems. And often, sometimes it's of course, there's hormonal problem, and obesity doesn't always necessarily have to be a direct result of poor diet. So we also have to keep this in mind as well. Now, when we look at obesity, the formation of strong eating habits can have a very, very big impact on a child, especially during prenatal period. Even when the mother's weight is not a factor, these early habits actually can often also intertwine with the emotional programming and the patterns that the mother experienced in relation to food. Now, while the mother may not be necessarily obese, her emotional relationship with food can significantly impact the child's predisposition to certain eating behaviors when they feel certain emotions, which they took on from the mother. Emotional programming. Now, the mother's emotional state during her pregnancy plays a very big role, which we already touched on. Because if she used food as a coping mechanism during times of stress or during emotional turmoil, the child in utero might now have also been exposed to these patterns. And the mother's emotional relationship with food can be imprinted on the child's development. Associative learning. Now, this process also involves the child subconsciously now associating certain foods with emotional relief or comfort. For instance, if the mother consumes specific foods when she experienced stress or maybe seeking support or maybe comfort, the child's developing brain might actually form connections between these food factors and also the cellular memory and the nutritional memory in the child's body and the positive emotional experiences as well that the mother felt as a relief of the food that she had, though the child is not necessarily directly consuming them at this stage. Euphoria release. Now, the consumption of certain foods can trigger the release of neurotransmitters associated with pleasure and euphoria. Now, this biochemical response reinforces the emotional connection between specific foods and also positive feelings. And the child's developing neural pathways might start to mirror these responses, leading to a subconscious association between particular foods and emotional well being. Stress triggers. Now, as the child grows and encounters stressors later in life, the cellular memory of these early associations can be triggered, especially now during their early infancy stages or even from in utero stages. Especially when they are faced with stress, the child might now start to experience certain cravings for certain food types that's linked to the emotional relief that the mother had, or maybe the emotional relief that they had prior in their life or the earlier stages, even if they're not necessarily conscious of this connection. Cravings. Now, these cravings are not necessarily solely driven by hunger, but also often rooted in the desire for emotional comfort. Now, the child seeks to replicate the pleasure sensations associated with those specific foods, which were imprinted during prenatal period. Now, understanding these intricate connections between prenatal experiences and emotional associations and later cravings is actually essential for addressing and now starting to modify these eating habits. And then starting to break free from these patterns may require a combination of awareness, mindfulness, and or also therapeutic approaches may be aimed at untangling, almost like detangling the emotional ties to food. Additionally, also helping the child to have a healthier relationship with food based on nutritional education and strong positive coping strategies that can help the child. And so there you have it. If you love this, then you're going to absolutely love this book as well. And you can find it on Evette, on Amazon or evettebooks.com. And until next time, take care.